Okay, here I'm going to make a little video that just shows some of the pictures I have available, give you a little overview of my gallery, kind of where I hang my art when I'm out at shows. This is one of my newer pieces. It's about 48 inches wide by 38 or something. Aspen trees, it's an oil painting. The stretched canvas is kind of what it's, basically it's just painted on stretcher bars, okay? If you can look in the back of there, you can see that kind of the wooden frame that's built with cross members and gussets and whatnot to kind of support the canvas, stretch the canvas, and then you know, I paint the painting and I paint the sides as well. So it kind of wraps around and that can just hang on the wall as is, or a guy could put a frame on it if he wants to. So that one's available still. I also got one of my Longhorns available, of course. And then this painting here is actually one that I am probably going to keep. It's my son in a field of tulips. And it's a watercolor, framed, in a big old 48-inch piece of glass. Pretty large painting. Don't want to have to ship that baby. That's kind of gnarly. But I could sure do prints of that, any size, up to the original size. Here's another little oil painting I did a while back of my son walking down a driveway in the wintry snow. It's oil on canvas. Now this one I kind of got lazy and I didn't paint the sides completely. Here's a little info about it. January snow journeys. I could sell you prints of that for 15-inch wide prints for 55 bucks. But you see again, the stretched canvas option is there. Over here we have, up on my wall, a big old painting about 4 feet wide, oil painting of the Oregon coast. Couple walking down the beach with the Aquina Head Lighthouse in the distance there. And that's again on a stretched canvas, oil painting original. And I've got my cat over here wanting to come in and have some food. You know, I'll feed her in just a second when the video is done. So we got that for you to look at. We also have over here one of my favorite paintings of the Washington, Oregon coast, Big oil painting. I call it Evening Waves. It's about 4 feet wide. Oil on stretched canvas. So again, you can see kind of how I painted the side of it there. Okay, so just kind of giving you a little education about oil versus watercolor. A lot of the bigger paintings I do in oil. I used to do big watercolors, like obviously that one over there is really big. Up here is my big original of Jesus riding with the kids in the truck. And this is oil on stretched canvas. There is my name, there's the fact that it's painted on the sides. So that original oil, I might want to hang on to that one. It's about 5 feet wide, 3 feet high or so. But I can make prints of that about any size that people want. I've already made a few stretched canvases that are full size that I shipped off to Texas, one of them. So those are kind of some options. And just for fun, Longhorn's over there, the one on the left is now currently in our freezer. He makes for tasty T-bone steaks. And those are his sweet dog horns right there, which I think is kind of a neat little piece of art in itself. So now I'm going to have it in the gallery and then I'll use some more. As well, throw in a little shot of the current Longhorn population over there. We got Ted, the big boy in front. To the left side we got Jackson, about a year and a half. Right in the middle we got Cookie. And in the back we got Mama. We haven't really named her a name yet, she's just Mama Cow. So, there's my models. My grass-eating critters. And when they end up going to Longhorn. Okay, here is the sign we hand cut out of our chunk of metal, or our handheld, whatchamacallit, plasma cutter. So this is an old building that I took and made it into my little kind of studio gallery type place where I can hang my art when I'm not at shows and people can come visit me and see some prints and this kind of stuff. And we got a few little pieces of cut metal that we cut out of the yard art things here. Come in here in the gallery and you see it just has a bunch of my art hanging on the walls. Kind of has a little showroom I've made up here. And so I'll turn the lights on here and let you see kind of the status of things. It's kind of dark in here right now, but we'll fix that here. So there's a great big old watercolor framed of an elk. And all the details are on the website if you want to know the sizes and prices and everything else. There's a handful of prints framed on the wall. That's an original watercolor framed of some flowers, $8.95. It's 36 by 17. This is an original of the Palouse Country Hills in the springtime. And there's the price of that. Original's $2,800. Prints that size are $3.95. There's a framed print of a watercolor of a trout cutthroat I caught a while back, called The Release. That framed print sells for $275. That's about a 22 by 28 inch piece of glass right there. So you kind of get the idea of scale with that lamp there. Okay, the lights are kind of dim in here. I wanted to show this beautiful work my son did of Silver Creek. It's an oil painting down there. Let me move this piece out of the way here. And that's about 44 by 28, I think, the original. And that's stretched on canvas. And here again, you know, it's painted on the sides, but it could be framed in a frame. Kind of like, this is a canvas print right here of the Tetons, the little creek in front. So it just has a frame on it. There's no glass, no mat board, just the canvas print is right here. And you just bolt a frame on it, and there you have a framed print. So any of these canvases that you see that are not, have no frame on them, they've all got the wooden stretcher bar behind them. That's a big canvas print of my latest large fall aspen painting. So I'm just kind of educating you a bit here. This is kind of a slew of originals and prints. The one on the top, that one is my son. He painted that of aspen trees called October Shadows. That's $1,200. The one to the left is a little smaller aspen tree one I did. I think it's $950. Price will be on the website. Again, stretched canvas, painted on the sides. Can hang it just like it is, or we can put a frame on it. These are some small little watercolors I've done. Obviously framed with glass, mat board. This is one of some trout getting caught, a cutthroat. And there's my son fishing there in a picture. There's a shot of a fisherman with glass, watercolor. And here is over here a couple more. Here's are some small oil paintings here. Let me turn some lights on here for you too. Okay, so I like this little watercolor a lot. It's a little shot of Silver Creek in the fall, kind of a, call it Silver Creek Shadows. That's a neat little, here's one my son painted of the boulders. It's about a 10 by 10 inch oil original. All these are 10 by 10. There's a little shot of Redfish Lake there, oil original 10 by 10. These are just some tiles I print on and then I mount them on a board. This kind of highlights the seasons of the Palouse: winter, spring, summer, fall. And those tiles on a board are nice little accent art pieces. They sell for 39 bucks a piece, mounted on a board like that, ready to hang. And there is one of my favorite paintings that I will sell, but I'm enjoying it while I own it still, called Piece of the River. It's a great big old watercolor original of the Payette River. And it's just an evening. We were there, we swam, we fished, we had a great time. I took some photos and then I painted a watercolor of it. It was a really complicated painting because all of this white had to be masked out, but it was well worth it. I like the way it turned out, so you kind of see how that one's framed there. And so you're just kind of getting a little tour of the gallery here. That's a big print of a flower. There's another print of the wave painting you saw inside. And here's a bunch of original watercolors, smaller. The largest one there is about a 16 by 20 glass. So, little shot of the Oregon coast, 2 bits and $1 down near Yachats. There's a shot of a lighthouse over on the Washington coast, Cape Disappointment. There's an old truck in the Palouse with an old barn behind it, some poppies in the field. There's a rooster. There's an old VW bus, framed print, original I mean. Old blue bus in a barn, kind of grandma's barn find bus. There's a shot of Gig Harbor with Mount Rainier in the background, original watercolor. I love this painting. The watercolor blend in that turned out so well. I just can't sell it in the Palouse very well here, or you catch them, or need to go over to the coast there to sell that one. There's a beautiful little hibiscus with the hummingbird there at it. These Love My 14, which is that size, sell for $3.95 framed. This one is the same Oregon Coast shot. I love this one too. I love the way the wash in the sky turned out so well on this painting. Again, that was $3.95 framed. Any of these I would be willing to unframe and send it to you for $100 less, just the painting if you don't want the frame job. And there's another slew of prints down this wall here. Like a canvas print like that's about 11 by 15. Those sell for $125. Stretched canvas ready to hang on your wall. Here's a print of Riding with Jesus. That print I believe is about 20 by 30, and that probably sells for, if I remember, $3.25 or so. There we go. That one there's about the same size. It's a print of that bigger original down there. And that print, Palouse Red and Green, sells for $3.25, ready to hang. So you're getting kind of a sense of what we got in here, huh? And so give me a call, send me an email if you need to get some walls covered. I got some art for you, plenty of it. Also got a selection of mugs. I don't like to ship these things because it's barely worth the cost to ship them, but if you wanted to buy some mugs, we could probably figure something out, or a bunch of my coasters. There's another kind of slew of tiles on boards. It's kind of a tiles, old VW buses. There's 3 tiles, make one painting there of the big old lighthouse that I had painted. And there's kind of a fun shot of, it's a watercolor of two roses entwined together in a vase. Kind of took 3 tiles and glued them on a board. So for these tiles, 3 tiles on a board, they're $49 each. Nice little bathroom, you know, accent art or whatever. And then I got my coasters over here. Got a large selection of coasters. Any of my images that I have can be put on a coaster. And they're pretty bulletproof. I've been using them for quite a while. They hold up pretty well. So I got lots of, I got some round ones. I'm not really doing the round as much anymore though. I'm doing mostly the square ones. The square are cool because you can put them on a board. You can put them in a frame. You can do all kinds of stuff with them, which is really kind of fun. So there's kind of the status of things with the studio right now. On a mug selection. This is kind of a funny one here. If you were to read that, I don't know if you can. I may not be that funny or athletic or good looking or smart or talented. I forget where I was going with this. But I do know how to fish. So, important thing to remember. There's a glass cutting board. I can make these guys. They're pretty cool. It's glass, about 11 by 15. They'll sell for I think about $45. And I can make any image on a glass cutting board too. So anyways, I've kind of been rambling here quite a bit. So there you have it. Give me a call. Or visit the website, www.finewatercolors.com, and see more and order something and help support a real life full-time artist. And if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe to that and help me out, and you'll be getting updates when I do more. Thanks so much.